Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna Crossland. Today we have a review on a brand new palette from Makeup Revolution, and it is called the Chilled with Cannabis Sativa. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but I think I am. Before we get into the actual review, I have a little bit of a story time with Ulta to tell. I had been eyeing this palette on Makeup Revolution's website ever since it launched because it has some beautiful greens and glitters and it is stunning. So I added it to my cart on Makeup Revolution's website. This palette retails for $15 and I was like, I don't really want to pay the $5 for shipping because then it comes to $20. I know, whatever. So anyways, I had seen that it came to Ulta's website and I got so excited, and then I immediately looked to see if it was available in store, and it said available in store, and I was like, oh, I have to go to Ulta right now. And that is what I did. I got into my car, drove all the way to Ulta. I asked the first person I saw and was like, hello, I see that this is in stock in your store and I would like to buy it. So she takes me around the Makeup Revolution area and goes, this is what's new, this is what we have. She's like, but I don't know about that palette. And I'm like, oh, well, it says in stock here. And so she goes, let me go check in the back. So I'm like, okay. So I walk around and look at more stuff, more good Makeup Revolution stuff. And 5 minutes go by and I can still hear her talking at the back of the store to another customer about a hair product. Specifically, they were talking about sulfates. So I could hear them mumbling, talking, and she was giving them advice. After she was done talking to this customer, she started walking forward to the front of the store, past me, and I was kind of like glancing at her like, so what'd you find out? And I was like, maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she's going to the front to ask someone else. So I just kind of like kept staring at her like, because I didn't want to just like bombard her like, so did you find my product? And so I was just like, okay. And I just like was kind of looking at her, and then she goes, couldn't find it. And she was like, I tossed and turned everything back there. I couldn't find it anywhere. And I was just like, this girl, she's older than me. I was like, she did not look for it. And if she did, it literally had to be a walk back real quick and then walk back into the store, because I watched her talk to another person like the entire time. And I was like, oh, well, it says in stock in store. And I just drove all the way here. And yeah. She's like, yeah, I don't know, but I'm sure we'll get it. And I'm like, okay, thanks, bye. So I left and I was like, well, I don't know what else to do because maybe it's a mess up on the website. And then I get home and I went to Travis. I was like, this woman said she was gonna check the back of the store, and I'm pretty positive she never even checked, and if she did, she didn't check that hard. And now I understand what it's like to work in retail, because I worked in retail for 7 years. I was the Regis hair salon receptionist. If people asked to either see if we had more of a product that was off the shelves or they were looking for something new, I would specifically walk my butt back there, go through boxes if we hadn't gotten through them and opened them yet, and open it, because that was my job, to sell product. So I wanted to see for that person if we had it in stock. So I would go through the stuff to make sure. And if we had it, great. And if we didn't, then I'm sorry. But I tried. This woman didn't even try, and it makes me so mad. So we looked at another Ulta store, which is close, but not as close as the Ulta store I went to. Like, you have to drive probably about 20 minutes from where we are. Maybe a little less, I don't know. But so more gas is about to be wasted, right? So my husband actually called that Ulta that I went to, because I was like, is this lady completely joshing me? I'm like, I want you to call because I don't want to talk to her in case she picks up the phone. So Travis gets the same lady on the phone and she's like, ah, that's funny. I just looked for that palette for someone else today. And she like obviously knew that it was me calling about it. So that was like pointless. But then we called Peoria's store, which again is the other Ulta, and they were like, yeah, we got it. And they're like, they had to put us on hold, so I'm pretty sure they had to go in the back and look for it. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna put it on hold for you guys. So now we have to drive all the way to that store because the other store was being a pain in the butt. And it's so frustrating. I'm so mad. It like makes me never want to go back to that Ulta again just because of that woman. Like, how rude. And then when Travis, he actually went to go pick up the palette for me from Peoria, and then they were like, we don't know if this is supposed to be sold yet. And I'm just like, why does it say in store, like in stock? Like, if you're not supposed to sell it, why would it even say on the website that it's in store and in stock? And maybe I'm over dramatic about this, but it really got on my nerves. Anyways, we have the palette. So I'm going to do my review, my first impressions. This is my first time ever using one of these palettes. I've heard wonderful things about the quality, so I was super excited. Now, honestly, it's not the fact that it's infused with cannabis oil, but just these colors is what gets me excited. Definitely unique. And I don't have a lot of greens like this in my collection. I did do swatches, but they weren't like at the best time. By the time I was able to get the palette, like the sun had gone down, but I still wanted to do the swatches so I could get them out for people before they buy it, see if it's something that they want. That's kind of the whole reason why I started Instagram and YouTube, was to help people see swatches so they could decide if they wanted to buy the product, because swatches obviously look way different than things do in pan. But here are the swatches. There are a few different formulas here. We have glitters. These pressed glitters are so soft and smooth. Everything is so soft and smooth. There are mattes, and then you have these shades that are like Super Shock shadows, so they're more like cream, but they literally feel like a Super Shock shadow. And I think there are two of those from what I can tell. A lot of them took building up, so I wasn't sure how it was going to perform on the eye. These shadows are vegan and cruelty-free. It specifically says the powder shadows have strong buildable pigment, so I do feel like they're super buildable. So here is the eye look I came up with today. It's pretty dramatic. I do feel like you could do a way more toned down green look, but I figured we weren't going anywhere, so why not get a little bit crazier with makeup and have a little bit of fun. So here it is. I used some of the glitters. So truly, I have no idea how this palette will perform. I've never used this type from Makeup Revolution. The only palettes I have are their Makeup Bar palettes, so I don't know what this quality will be like. I did swatch it and they all felt really soft and really smooth, but some of them, most of them, I did have to build up. I feel like especially the kind of green colors, but I feel like that's pretty normal with some greens, but all of these browns were intense and super shimmery and in your face, so we're gonna try and play with a lot of greens to see how those can perform. So of course we're going to start off with a fluffy blending brush. I think we are actually going to start off by going into the shade Leaf, which is this brighter type of teal shade right here, kind of aqua-y green, and I really want to try it out because I want to test out these green shades for you guys. So it doesn't seem to have, like, it has kick up, of course, like all eyeshadows do, but not too bad. I have some concealer on my eyes and it's not set or anything. So initially it was very, very light, but it can be built up, which is definitely a good thing, so that you can create either a softer green look or a brighter and intense one if you want to build it up more. So I'm really happy to see that you can build these up on the eye so far. It doesn't appear to be patchy whatsoever, which I find sometimes with these aqua shades you do get some patchiness, so I actually think that it's performing really well. Like, do you see there's like barely anything there the first time, but you can just build it up. Some people don't like having to build up. Honestly, I'd rather have to build than have like super intense right off the bat, especially working with these types of shades. Just because you can, if you're not planning on going dramatic, then it can get kind of scary and it's harder to kind of chill out. Ha ha ha, chill out. What is this palette called? The chill out palette or something? So right now I look so crazy. But it's nighttime and we're not going anywhere, so we're just playing with makeup. And that's fine. So as you can see, I've like layered up a lot, but I'm still impressed because it still worked. There's some eyeshadows that you still can't get to this intensity after you build it up, so far, so good. Alright, next, what do we want to do? I don't know. These two kind of look similar. Ooh, like really similar. So there's one called Natural, which is like a matte with green with little flecks of glitters, and then Plant, which is just a matte green over here. And there's like a slight difference in the shades. Obviously the finish, but one's a little bit more like the green you'd expect, and then the other one is a little bit more like, how do I describe it? The other one's more like an evergreen. I think we're gonna go with Natural. Let's see what this can do. So this is a blending brush, but it's a very small one. I like this usually for the deeper part of the crease because it kind of helps blend it out, but not too much, so you can still have some depth there. This one does seem to be slightly patchy. I feel like maybe dabbing these on first would work better and then blending out. That seems to be a method that works really well with a lot of newer eyeshadows we've been seeing these days, so let's try that. Again, this one's taking, you have to build this one, but I just feel like for the price point, and if it still looks nice, I don't mind that, you know, especially for unique shades like this that are hard to find. Yeah, you're not gonna find me complaining. Because it is building up very nicely too. I don't know if you can tell, but it is building good. You see that? Pretty. It is very pretty. We look so crazy, don't we? That's the only thing I kind of feel like I'm missing is like a matte brow bone shade, but you can always use just a regular powder for that as well. So here's where we are at. The other one I thought was building patchy, and it was when I was just doing the motions back and forth, but now it actually doesn't look patchy at all. Okay, I think we're actually going to go into the browns now, and I think we're going to start off by going into Cool, which is this kind of milk chocolate brown right here. I am interested to see in how the mattes kind of build, because those are the ones that I felt like I had to work on building the most. So we'll see what we can do. And again, I do have concealer on my eye. I think this shade might be a little bit too light to try and cover up that green that we already did. So I think we're going to actually go into the deepest brown, which is Burn. It's like this very dark, deep brown. If that doesn't cover that, then we're probably going to have some problems because it's a really dark shade. It actually is okay. It's covered. I thought it wasn't for a little bit, but it is. So again, I'm packing this on. That's what seems to work best with these shadows, because you do have to again build them up. I'm super excited to dip into some of these glitters. When I swatched them, they felt like really nicely. I actually don't have a lot of fallout going on right now, which is also really nice. Okay, so I'm super excited for the glitters, but before, I think we might as well try some more shadows before we cover them up, because why not? We're gonna go into Mist, which is this deep dark green shade. It's like a shimmer, but really dark. So we're gonna go into that one. Put it on top. Obviously, since it's a really deep green, it's not gonna like pop intensely. Let's try it with our finger. Oh, your finger works like 20 times better. So we're gonna go into Bud, which is this, I have no glitters like this. It's this deep dark green, like blackened green. It's like really smoky, and we're gonna just, oh my gosh, you guys, this glitter is good. Oh my gosh, this might be better than the ColourPop pressed glitters, truly. I might have to like start buying more of these palettes from Makeup Revolution, because I'm pretty impressed right now. I'm gonna try Candyland just so we can try another shade on the eyelid to see how, ooh, that's pretty. It kind of like reflects almost green, like it's like a mint but reflects gold. It's actually really pretty. I feel kind of like you're not gonna be able to see it that much with how I've done my eyes right now, but because we're gonna cover it up with glitter. So we're gonna go into Goddess, and she is pretty. Oh yeah, I am a fan of their glitters. These are working so well. And what's weird is when I was watching them, I was like, these glitters are like the softest feeling glitters I've ever felt like in my fingers. I know that sounds weird, but like it just does. I am going to go into, we're probably just gonna kind of do the same thing we did, even though I really want to, like, there's a lot of other ones. We're probably gonna go into Leaf first, which is that bright aqua shade we've been going into a lot. So we'll do that first. Then we're going to go into Burn, which is just a very black brown, but it almost looks like a charcoaly type of brown. I'm going to go into Calm, which is this light shimmery golden shade, and pop it on the inner corner, because that's what I do. Okay, I'm gonna clean up the mess underneath my eyes. This palette definitely makes me want to try out more Makeup Revolution palettes, specifically the Forever Flawless palettes, I think is the line. I always hear such amazing things. I feel like this one is a true test of what the rest of the quality is like, because greens I feel like are harder to formulate. Every time I get a green in a palette, it's either like patchy, or it's hard to build up, or it's gritty. Like there's just always different things. And I feel like even though you have to build these up, I feel like it's still definitely worth the value. This is only $15 and I think it's amazing. The packaging is like a tin case, which is okay, but it does have a mirror, which I absolutely love. The only palette I have that it kind of reminds me of was that Tarte one. Only like 2 of the shades though, so I feel like I can't, maybe 3 even really say that. But is the new Wet n Wild 10 pan palette called, what is this one called again? The Boo Crew. As you can see, there's a lot of similar type of shades, but I honestly, like, this is what, under $5 or is $5, and this one is $15. So obviously though, you're getting a ton more shadows in this one, so I would recommend this one. I mean, I know it's more money, but again, you're getting more quality. You're getting an actual palette with a mirror and all of that, and this one's just plastic. And yeah, I feel like you have way more options in this one for a few bucks more, so love this one. I really like the Super Shock formulas. The glitters were amazing. They're one of the best ones I think I've ever used. If they actually like stay Of course, this is like first impression, so I don't know how long they're gonna last, but I feel like I'm not gonna get a lot of fallout. Like I have a tiny bit, but not a lot. I feel like the worst thing that could happen is it creases, but that tends to happen with every pressed glitter I've ever tried, so I feel like you still would want some type of glitter glue. But I'm really excited to play more with this. I really want to do more of a grungy green type of look as opposed to this really bright crazy green. I was really impressed with the whole like nude shades, like this dark brown swatch, like out of this world. Those shimmers on that side for some reason are outstanding. The greens definitely are a little bit more like you have to work with them more. $15, and plus Ulta has a coupon going on right now for 20% off, so I think it made it just under $13. So Makeup Revolution is where it's at right now. If you guys would like to see another tutorial of more of the grungy greens or using the browns, let me know, and I definitely will do that. Do you guys plan on picking this palette up? Do you have other Makeup Revolution palettes like this, and which one is your favorite? Let us know down below in the comments. Don't forget I have an Urban Decay Naked palette giveaway going on. The Naked Honey palette is brand new, and I am giving one away to one of my lucky subscribers. So I will link that video somewhere around the top somewhere. You guys have a great day.